மாணவர்கள் எவரும் போதைக்கு அடிமையாகாதீர்கள். அடிமையானவர்கள் மீண்டதாக சரித்திரமில்லை. எனவே உங்களையும் சமூகத்தையும் பாதுகாத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் நலன் கருதி கல்வி டிவி.
Hi children, today we are going to study grade 6 science unit 2. The subject things around. The subject's the screen things around us. The sentence observe your home garden or school garden and any other calm environment during the daytime. You will be able to see many things such as trees and animals, etc. Also, you will hear many sounds. Not only that, you will feel the heat of the sun and the soft breeze. Right? See, first sentence, observe your home garden. So, we can observe our home garden. Right? See, we can observe our home garden. This is our home. This is our home. Right? So we have a little gardens, say such as plants, small gardens. Right? There are trees also there. Trees. Right? The big tree and small plants. Home garden. Not only the plants, right? It has, you can find out animal also, some insect possible, right? So in our home garden, right? Normally the home garden is very precious one because we don't use chemical, right? We don't use chemical. So if you make home garden, you can cultivate nutritional food and without using of chemical. So now this is home garden. You can see there are some insects, say bees possible. Then you can know chameleon, right? Chameleon and butterfly, right? So here we can see the plants and animals. Same time, say some birds possible. Birds, right? Birds. Here we have so now I have drawn the home garden. Every day we receive solar energy. So here this is energy. Here living things. Mean the plant and animals are living things. Under the tree, right? Under the living things, we can see butterfly, chameleon, bees, plants, birds, also the living things. The non-living things, you can find out the non-living things such as soil, stone, air, and water. These are light. So light as energy. So here this is under non-living things. This is non-living things. Anyway, in our environment we can see the living things and non-living things and energy in our environment. So example, when you visited to the home garden, you can find out whether the living things such as animals and plants and the non-living things, what are they? Soil, stone, air, water and energy. Why do they mention it? Here, observe your home garden. This is grade 6 unit 2. Observe your home garden. we can see that home garden or school garden. Anyway, sometimes some kind of schools having gardens and any other calm environment, normal environment, right? During the daytime, you have to see the daytime. Why do they select daytime? Why do they select daytime? Daytime is most suitable to observe every object. So we have visited to the home garden or the school garden and we can observe. We can observe every substances, things. When we observe, we have find out living things. Living things we already studied in unit 1. Your living things such as plant or trees and bees, chameleon animals such as, and the birds also we have included in animal, birds, animals and plants. Those are under living things. Non-living things. What are non-living things in our environment, home garden? You can find out soil, stone, right, sometimes dead part of the plant, right, and water, air, those are under non-living things. Why do they introduce home garden or school garden? We are going to study such as the around us. What are they? Things around us. We have to find out the things. We have to find out the things. Say when you take the stone, right? When you take the stone, you have to think about this. We will study about the things. Such as if you take the stone, you can say it has mass. A certain weight is there. It's occur space because this air. So if you take the, say, such as here, I have this phone. What has happened? It has a certain weight. It has certain volume. So it can occur space. Here this is an empty space. Now when I keep it here, this space can occur, can capture in this area. So the things can capture or occur the space or because due to the volume and it has mass. So we are going to study the things around us, right? Okay. Assignment. See the assignment. List what you see, hear or feel in your environment. What you see, hear or feel in your environment. Say what you see. We can see in our environment what is plant. Plant we can see because when we visited to the garden we can see, and certain living things, that's insect. Insect we can observe, or animals, frog, right? We can observe frog or some insect. So in the home garden we can hear what is, we can hear the sound. We can hear the sound. What are they? We can hear the sound. Yes, the sound of birds, right? Sound of birds. And what are they? Another sound. Sometimes the rivers, waterfalls, and sometimes wind. So we can hear the sound. Why? This is under energy. This is under energy. So here, this is energy. Here we can see, here, feel in your environment. Feel. Feel mean hot climate. Hot. Hot or cool. Right? The environment, you can feel, that list what you see, hear the feel in your environment. Right? We are going to study what you see, hear the assignment. See, list what you see or feel in your environment. We can list out that what are the things available in our environment, some such as when you visited to the home garden, you can observe several things, living things and non-living things. Sometimes you can hear the energy, sound energy. Sometimes you feel the hot, so that is the heat energy, right? So copy the following table into your writing book. In the table with your findings. What are the things you have observed, right? Then features of the objects. Having a mass. Having a mass. Mass mean weight. Another terms we can use weight, but in scientifically that is different. Anyway, having a mass mean you can measure the mass. Say, how do you measure the mass? Okay, this is the balance. Balanced one. You can put it the things such as say one stone. One stone. So another side, it has a special scale, say 5 kilogram. So 5 kilogram, we can measure this stone. So what you learn through this, the object which contain mass. Say example, the first example, you can find out pen. First example, that is pen. So the pen, it has a mass. They have mentioned it here. Pen having a mass. Pen having a mass. Here they put it the mark. Pen having the mass. And occupying space. Yes, that thing solid, no. The pen has a solid. Solid items occupied space. So that also correct. So water, that is liquid. That is liquid. So liquid, that also having mass. But in our day-to-day time, mostly we are not using kilogram for to measure the water. For to measure the water, anyway, you can measure it. So if you want, you can measure it the water by using of balance. Say example, you have to use this balance. You have to use this balance, right, and put it the water. So one is filled by the water, and another scale, put some scale, say 2 kilogram, but you can measure the mass of the liquid, that means water. But actually, that's okay. But the sunlight has energy. Sunlight has energy. This is mostly different. Energy, it don't have mass, and it unable to occupy space. Air, yes, air, you know, it has solid mass. So air also, that is gas and occupy space, because you know the empty gas cylinder in our kitchen, we are using empty gas cylinder. So when we buy the gas cylinder from the shop, we feel heavy. But same time, after using of that cylinder, it's the less one, light one. The heavy, it is not heaviest one. But when we purchase the cylinder, right? Example, any LP gas, liquid petrol gas. Sometimes we are using in the kitchen the gas cylinder. When we buy initially, it has more heaviest one. After using of that empty cylinder, it don't have heaviest. So that means they don't have more mass. That time we can get the conclusion, the gas also having mass. Anyway, air that's contain mass, right, and occupying space, right? Air contain mass and occupying those things. Another example, say book. If you say this book, what is happened? Book that's contain mass, and occupies space? Yes, sure. And milk. Milk having mass and occupies space. Right? So LP mean liquid petrol gas. LPG, that also having mass, that also occupies space. So you have to consider the solid, liquid and gas, it has mass and occupies space. But the energy, actually the energy don't have mass and occupy space. Right? So these things they have explained. Right? We will move. We are studying grade 6 unit 2. Grade 6 unit 2 book. Does air gas mass? Yes. Does it occupy space? Yes. Let's find it. Let's do the following activity out whether air occupies space. So now we are going to study air occupies space. I already mentioned, right, there's a balanced one can use for to measure the mass. Example, this is empty balloon. Empty balloon is blowing balloon. After that, empty balloon, we measure the, say this is 5 gram. 5 gram. After we used balance by using a blowing balloon, that means it's contain here the balloon is blowing balloon is put the knot, and now we have put the scale, this is says 20 gram, this is 20. So what the conclusion is, yes, this air having mass, this is empty balloon, this filled by using of air, filled balloon, or otherwise we can say air balloon, right? What is your conclusion? Here the two balanced are here. One is empty balloon, that's 5 grams. After blowing of that is 20 grams. So you can measure the, you can have the conclusion. What is the empty balloon don't have the measure, the empty balloon without air, so that blowing balloon air, so you can have a conclusion the air has mass. So this is the normal experiment. You can have this experiment at your home because you can make a small balance, like 2 plate is enough, 2 plate and doing this one. So now we will go to study the experiment to measure the another experiment. Does air occupy space? We already studied the air has mass, now occupies space. Very nice experiment. See this. Okay. Right. There's a empty glass and handkerchief. Empty glass with handkerchief. Handkerchief means you can use instead of handkerchief paper or some cloth, any one. Handkerchief means small piece of cloth. So now what they have here, you can observe here it has turned to sink into the beaker of beaker of water. When you turn here, when you turn the glass and sink into the water, what will happen? You can observe through the transference glass. So you can observe the air has trapped by water. This is air inside of the glass. The air, it's trapped by around the water. The water unable to reach to contact handkerchief. It is not possible. Why? It is not possible. Why? The air, it has certain space, occupied space. We have to, if we need to wet the handkerchief, we have to remove the air. Anyway, here unable to remove the air because around the air as water. The water has trapped air in the glass. Right? Water trapped in it. So the conclusion is, what is our conclusion? Yes, our conclusion is air has space, occupied space. Right? This is happened. Say example, I can draw this again. See the new one. So here we have to have glass, one glass, and place the handkerchief inside of the glass. So this is handkerchief inside of the glass. Very tightly we have packed. Very tightly we have to packed. Right? Observe it. Right. Then we have turned the glass. We have turned the glass now. It is going to turn. How does this possible? Yes, it can turn by using our hand. Now, then the handkerchief, inside of this handkerchief you can find out. Here the handkerchief is here. Then beaker of water, beaker of water, beaker of water, that means we pour the water here. Then it has to be changed, it has to be sink into the water, that is the glass. The glass have to sink into the water. So now it has to come here, the glass, yeah, handkerchief. After what happened, when you sink, when you move down, what will happen? Yes, when we move down, it has to be the little by little, it has to be moved inside of the beaker. Now see, yeah, when we dig the handkerchief of glass here, this handkerchief, what is happened? The water unable to move inside. Water unable to move inside. Full of here, the water is here, water, but it is unable to move inside of the glass. because the air has trapped by the water. This is air. Air. And air, and the border have to like this. We can have a conclusion that water unable to move inside of the glass, therefore the handkerchief is not wet. Not wet. So this is the good evidence. This is the good evidence. What is the air occupied space? So now we will come to our subject. This is explained like this, right? Okay, we can read it now. What is they have mentioned in our exam? Does air occupy space? Yes, you will need a basin. Basin means beaker, dry handkerchief, so piece of cloth, a dry glass. Place the handkerchief tightly. If you don't mention the tightly, that's wrong, no? If you place the handkerchief tightly at the bottom of the glass, why do we keep tightly? Sometime, if it is loose, it can fall down. Therefore, we have to fix tightly in the bottom of the glass and keep the glass upside. That means you have to turn. You have to turn the glass. This has to come turn. So they mention upside down vertically. Vertically means like this. This is vertically. This line is horizontal. This is horizontal. This is vertically. So this is upright vertically. Right? In the water basin as shown in the figure. Right. Take out the glass vertically from the water basin and check whether the handkerchief is wet. What is your conclusion? Yes, handkerchief is not wet. Therefore, we can have a conclusion, air occupy space. Air can capture space. Right, that's another sentence we can say, occupy space. This is grade 6, unit 2. You will observe that the handkerchief is not wet. This is because there was air in the glass. So the water can't enter the glass. The conclusion is that air occupies space. Let's do the following activity to find out whether air has a mass. Right? So we already discussed about it. I have mentioned two balanced. We can use empty balloon and normal balloon. So that is the one of the experiment. We will see that if it is available. I can observe you. Okay. Two balloons filled with air, meter ruler, several pieces of thread. That means here everything they have mentioned it here. You can observe thread and meter ruler. Here meter ruler also they have mentioned it here. Meter ruler and thread, balloons, different color balloons. We are going to do the experiments to measure, to know the air has mass. So two balloon with air. Sometime we can do the reversible examples. When we pick by using of needle, what will happen? The air will come out. Therefore, what will happen? The meter ruler have to change like this. Ruler have to move like this. because the empty balloon, here this is full of gas, and going down, right? Now see, does air have a mass? You will need two balloons filled with air, meter ruler. Set up the balloon as shown in the figure 2.2. Balance the ruler until it lies horizontally. It lies mean you keep it the direction horizontally until to balance. Make the hole in one balloon and let the air out. Observe what happened to ruler. The ruler have to change, because we have keep the balloon, we have keep horizontally the ruler, then we one of the balloon have make damage. What happened? Therefore the balance is going to corruption, then the balance is going to change the filled air balloon. Say example, if you make damage this balloon, the purple color balloon, if you make damage of this one, right, what will happen? The balance have to change. Actually the balance have to change like this. What is the purple balloon is here, the green color balloon have to come like this. So we can have the conclusion, what is air has mass, because the balance have to change. Initially same balance are there, the same balance here, the meter coil have in horizontal line, the two balance have find out under balanced. After make the damage of purple color balloon, it has to be changed. Okay, when the air in the balloon is out, you will observe the meter ruler lose its balance. This happens because the air in the balloon goes out. Hence you can come to the conclusion that air has mass. Yes, the amount of meter in the object is referred as the mass of the object. Kilogram, grams, milligrams are some unit used to measure mass. The international unit of measuring the mass is kilogram, right? Actually, the students, that one, the mass is different from the weight, right? It is not in your syllabus, that means the grade 6, but you need to know scientifically mass is different from the weight. Weight can measure by spring balance, mass can measure by normal two plate balance, right? Here we have studied the solid and gas and liquids occur space, it has mass, right? Okay, there are two experiments we have studied. One is glass with handkerchief and other one is two balloons. So those are giving us what is it has mass and occupy space. Okay, thank you very much. We will study in the next class.
கல்வி டிவியில் புத்தம்புது நிகழ்ச்சிகளை உடனுக்குடன் பார்த்து மகிழ எமது Facebook மற்றும் YouTube பக்கத்தை லைக் செய்யுங்கள்.